I'll be taking a look at 5 things that the Premier League taught us in the first month of 2021. This is the Premier League roundup for January. So the first point is based on Arsenal, and this is to discuss the transformation that we've seen over the last month at the club. In December, we was looking at them with Arteta in charge and thinking that he wasn't going to have too many games left at the club. The results were looking really poor. They hadn't won since the first game in November, but all of a sudden things have been able to change for them, and I think a lot of this does come down to the young players that are in the team with Emile Smith-Rowe and Bukayo Saka. What you get with these two attackers is players who actually care about the club and want to fight for the club, want to be creative and score goals and create chances. And the form of Bukayo Saka in particular, after that win at Chelsea where they won 3-1, he got a goal in that game. He's also been able to score 3 other goals and get 2 assists. Arsenal's form has really kicked in as soon as Saka has started to be able to contribute to goals, and we can see when Bukayo Saka isn't contributing to goals, they aren't scoring at all. They drew 0-0 against Crystal Palace when he did play, and then he didn't play against Manchester United, and Arsenal weren't able to score in that game either. So it's clear that Saka is having a big influence on Arsenal's performances and really why their form has improved. But also one player that has really impressed me on this run is Kieran Tierney, and unfortunately for Arsenal he has been out the team, but when he is in the team I think he balances out that influence that Saka has on the game. Okay, they rely on Saka a lot when he's there and Tierney's been out the team, but when Tierney comes back in they then have someone on the left as well as the right who can have a big creative influence on the game. He got an assist in the 3-1 win against Chelsea and then a goal and an assist in the West Brom 4-0 win. When you look back at that bad run that Arsenal were on, I think we were possibly quite harsh on Arteta and Arsenal because they were creating chances, they were having a lot of shots in games, but it was simply the conversion rate that was really letting them down. And it's similar to Brighton as well. They're in a similar situation where Brighton do dominate a lot of the games, they're able to get a lot of shots, but they just aren't going in the back of the net. And really this problem doesn't come down to the manager. It can depend. If the quality of chances aren't great, then this is probably down to the manager. But more often than not, it's just getting luck on your side and also having that confidence that this shot is going to be a goal. The change in results for Arsenal has now got them thinking about those European spots. They currently sit 10th in the league, and although they've played 21 games and some teams above them like Everton and Aston Villa have only played 19, they will feel that they've got a very good chance with the amount of games you've got to play and the form that they are in at the moment. So point number 2 is discussing another team who's in form at the moment, although they did lose their latest game against Liverpool, that is West Ham. I've titled this one West Ham Mean Business, and this is due to their really good run of games that they did have. Before the 3-1 defeat to Liverpool, you saw a 3-2 win against Palace, a 2-1 win against West Brom, a 1-0 win against Burnley, and another 1-0 win, this time away at Everton. What these run of games have really shown us is the influence that Mikel has on the team. In December, their run wasn't so great with only 1 win in that month. However, in this month, we've seen the 4 wins and 1 draw. And while Antonio has been involved in every game in January with 2 goals and 1 assist. We know they really struggled when he was out the team and Sebastian Haller was coming in, but not really having a great influence, and he's since been sold to Ajax. They've also been looking for another striker, but no one's been brought in at the time of recording. And when I talk about the influence of Antonio and why he's good to the team, it's because he's bringing other players into play. What we've also seen from West Ham is a change in formation from the start of the season, and possibly this is down to the injury that Masuaku did have. They were playing 5 at the back with Cresswell as the wide centre-back and Masuaku as the left wing-back. However, now it is the back 4 with the 2 central midfielders of Souček and Rice. The addition of Said Benrahma and slowly bedding him into the side, he looks to be a starter now. So he's playing in the middle with Fornals on the left, Bowen on the right, and Antonio as the striker. And what they have here with this setup is Cresswell and Kufal, who are really energetic and want to attack. You then have the central midfielders of Souček and Rice, where okay, Souček does have that big attacking influence, but he does have a great influence in defending as well. And I talk about it quite often in teams, but what they've got in Declan Rice is a player that teammates can rely on to stay back and make sure he defends with the centre-backs behind him in Dorton and Ogbonna. They've then got a quality defensive setup which allows Cresswell to get up, it allows Kufal to get up, and overall for West Ham it means that they can play on the front foot and win games. Rice staying back means that Cresswell can get up and have that attacking influence that Moyes wants him to have on the match. The delivery that you get with Cresswell's left foot onto the head of Thomas Souček, that's a brilliant combination. And you get so much from the aerial ability that Souček has, it means that he can win headers and players can look to win the second balls. So at the moment, West Ham sit 5th in the league, and their upcoming fixtures, they've got Aston Villa away, Fulham away, and Sheffield United then at home. Fulham and Sheffield United, definitely games that they can win to keep keep their European hopes alive. And that is something that we didn't expect to be saying about this West Ham side, but so many teams are up there fighting for those European spots. West Ham have really got a great chance if they can keep this form up, and I might do a video soon looking into West Ham a bit deeper. Point number 3 now then, we're going to be looking into Nuno Espirito Santo's Wolves. And this point I have titled Worrying for Wolves because it is quite worrying. They haven't won since their 2-1 win against Chelsea on the 15th of December. Since then they've drawn 3 matches and lost 5. And in their last 2 matches against Chelsea and Crystal Palace away, they haven't been able to score. Now the obvious thing to point out here is the loss that they've had with Raul Jimenez getting injured. It means that instead their forwards have really been Neto, Traore and Podence, who are all players with great pace who want to get in behind defences. So it means that when teammates are looking to play up the pitch and make a pass, they haven't got someone to look to who can be patient with the ball to then lay off a pass to someone with the pace of Traore, Podence or Neto. All of these forwards should really be playing in the wide areas, looking to link up with someone in the middle. So it's really meant in the past couple of months that Wolves have struggled to play that they want to play and teammates have found it awkward. However, this month they have been able to bring in Willian Jose, and he made his first start in that Crystal Palace 1-0 defeat. Before the game, Nuno explained that Willian can give them that presence that they've been missing in Jimenez, and he can hold up the ball. So of course that is a positive sign for Wolves. In his debut, he was able to have 3 shots and 2 on target, and if he can simply just come into the team and give the central midfielders just a different outlet when they're passing out from the back, it will change this Wolves team completely. Their next games though, coming into February, do look tough. They've got Arsenal who are in good form, they've got Leicester who are right up there, they've got Southampton who haven't been doing so well, so they could get some points there. In these games I'll for sure be looking for the influence of Willian Jose. Let's see how many points they can pick up in these next 3 games. In our 4th point for January, we're able to talk about a team who are finally able to pick up some points, and that is Newcastle United. After not winning since the 12th of December, they finally won against Everton 2-0 away from home on the 30th of January. And that's why I've titled this one that Callum Wilson gives Bruce hope, because he scored both of the goals in that game at Goodison Park. And what we saw in this game overall was a big change in the shape of Newcastle, with a 4-3-1-2 or a 4-3-3, however you want to see it, with the attacking midfielder Almiron behind 2 split strikers, which were Ryan Fraser and Callum Wilson. And Callum Wilson was able to find a lot of success on the right side of the pitch. This is where a lot of the attacking influence came for Newcastle. In fact, Callum Wilson made the joint most touches this game with 57. And this is something that is unheard of for Callum Wilson. He averages 27.5 touches per 90, proving that moving into the wide areas and moving into spaces meant it had a big effect on Newcastle and led to 2 goals being scored by Callum Wilson. There was also big influences from Ryan Fraser and Almiron, and one interesting thing to look at is the pass combinations in the game. In these stats we can really see how Newcastle dominated on the right side of the pitch. For example, the highest pass combination for Newcastle was the right back Manquillo to Almiron. The second highest pass combination was Manquillo to Wilson, long direct passes down the right side of the pitch. And the 4th highest was Wilson to Almiron 7 times, so we can really see where the link-up play came up here. When the ball got to Wilson, he was looking for Almiron, and a lot of those passes were coming from the right back Manquillo. Newcastle really had something going here in this game, which led to that 2-0 victory. It now means that games against Crystal Palace and Southampton, Chelsea and Manchester United, as they've got in February, will for sure be good ones to watch, to be able to see if Newcastle can take these good performances and apply it to upcoming games. Let me know what you think in the comments. Will Newcastle bounce back after this 2-0 win? The 5th point here is to talk about the team top of the league, and that is Manchester City. And the title for this one, simply put, is Unbeatable City. They won every single match in January. It began with a 3-1 win against Chelsea, and then a 1-0 against Brighton, a 4-0 against Palace, a 5-0 against West Brom, and a 1-0 against Sheffield United. And it's clear now that Manchester City are the favourites for the league. With the amount of goals that they're conceding, they haven't conceded in the last 4 matches, and obviously with this incredible winning run that they're on. In my last video I talked about every Premier League club and their best player this season. I named Gundogan for Man City, and he is a big reason as to why they've been able to get these wins with the amount of goals he's scored from central midfield. And in defence they are looking very good, in particular with the centre-backs that they have now. Ruben Diaz and John Stones looks to be forming a brilliant partnership. The spirit in the team right now is of course very high. In the next game they've got Burnley, which you'd fully expect them to win. Off the back of playing Crystal Palace and West Brom and Sheffield United, games where you'd expect them to win, February will be harder for them with Liverpool, Spurs, Arsenal and West Ham. But of course, let's not write off Burnley. They've been in very good form at the moment and they did beat Liverpool, so they could put in one of those kind of performances against Man City, who knows. I really do think it's as simple as this month will tell us if Man City win the league or not. If they can keep this good run going with the kind of matches that they've got over the next month, then I really can't see there's going to be a way that they can be stopped after that. They're looking in very good shape right now, and although I think the league table will be closer this year, it seems that Man City are stretching away with it and possibly go all the way to win their next league title. Comment below and let me know what you think about Manchester City. Will they be winning the league this season? I recommend that you don't miss out on future videos. Subscribe to Route 1 and like the video if you did enjoy.